Okay, today we're going to look at section 3.2, the integers. Essentially, extending the counting numbers to include negative numbers and zero forms the integers. Any other numbers that cannot be written as, well, this is not an integer. So, which of the following are integers? Is negative 214 an integer? Why, yes, it is. How about 38 divided by 11? Well, 38 divided by 11 gives me decimal. A response with decimal, so no. How about the square root of 90? Again, nope. How about the square root of 121? Well, that's 11, so yes. And how about 420 divided by 35? Well, that gives us 12, so yes. So we have a number line down here. So let's graph these. How does this work? Simple. Negative 10, right there. 2.4, somewhere here. And 0. So when determining if one quantity or size is larger than another, we know it means there is more of whatever is being discussed in terms of positive integers. We can envision that larger integers are further to the right on the number line. This idea applies to negative integers also. This means that A is greater than B when A is to the right of B on the number less than A. On the number line, B would be to the left of A. And we write it like this. Need to recognize that A greater than B means the same thing as B less than A. So determine which of negative 38 and 27 is larger using a number line. Well, we have 0 here. Negative 38 is somewhere over here. 27 is over here. So 27 is greater than negative 38, or negative 38 is less than 27. Now here's the thing to be careful of. We often ignore the negative signs and then think 6 is greater than negative 2. Negative 2. To avoid that error, remember that the greater number is to the right of the number line. So what about this? Determine whether negative 63, determine which of negative 63 and negative 213 is larger. And express this using both greater than and less than. So negative 63 is to the right of negative 213, so negative 63 is greater than negative 213, or negative 213 is less than negative 63. Okay? Determine which of 101 and 98 is larger. Well, 101 is larger, right? 101 is greater than 98, or 98 is less than 101. The next concept we come up with is called the absolute value of an integer. When talking about graphing integers on a number line, one interpretation suggests it is like walking along a path. Negatives going to the left of 0, positive going to the right. If you take 30 steps to the right, you are 30 steps away from 0. On the other hand, when you take 30 steps to the left, you are still 30 steps away from 0. So in a way, even though one is negative and the other positive, these two numbers, 30 and negative 30, are equal since both are 30 steps away from 0. The absolute value of an integer, n, is the distance from n to 0 regardless of direction. And the notation we use is basically a bar on either side of the letter. So what is the absolute value of positive 38? Well, it's simply 38. What is the absolute value of negative 81? Well, simply 81. Any calculation of anything within an absolute value symbols is going to give you a positive result. So, some rules for adding and subtracting. Subtracting a negative is the same as adding a positive. Adding two negative numbers or two negative integers always results in a negative integer. Adding two positive integers always results in a positive integer. The sign when adding integers with opposite sign is the same as the integer with the larger absolute value. So here I have negative 18 plus 11. Absolute value of negative 18 is 18, which is larger. So I'm going to be negative, and the difference is 7. Okay, so we can use our calculator here. 38 minus 100 equals negative 62. Here, you can calculate 45 minus negative 26. Remember, subtracting a negative is like adding, and you should get 71. And here, again, using your calculator, you should get negative 17. So one use of negative numbers is determining net worth, which is all the wealth someone owns less all that someone owes. Sometimes net worth is positive and sometimes net worth is negative. So Christian is owed $100 from his friend Chanel, but owes his friend Jeff $91. What is Christian's net worth? Well, we have a positive 180 because it's owed to him, plus a negative 91 that he owes, which is going to give me a positive 89. So his net worth is positive 89. Okay, so multiplying, dividing integers. Similar to addition and subtraction, the signs of the integers interpret the or impact the results when multiplying and dividing integers. Rules are straightforward, but again, rely on the direction of the number line. There are only two rules. When multiplying or dividing two integers with the same sign, the result is positive. When multiplying or dividing two integers with opposite signs, the result is negative. So what is 81 times 26? Same sign, positive, positive 2,106. Okay, 18, negative 18 times 13, different sign, so it's going to be negative 234. Again, negative 116 divided by 4, different signs, so negative, and it's negative 29. And then negative 77 divided by negative 11, the sign is the same, so it's going to be positive, and it's 7. So at the end of the season, team may wish to buy their coach an end of season gift. Makes sense to share the cost equally among the members. To do so, the team would need to find the average or mean cost per member. The average or mean of a set of numbers is the sum of the numbers divided by the number of values that are being averaged. So, banks and credit cards often base their interest on average daily balance of an account, which is the average balance from day to day of the period. The account balance of Jada's checking account on each day of the week on December 13th, it was 1,250, and then 673, and then 1,500, and then 1,000, and then 785, 785 again, and 710. Eek. That's not gonna work. I guess I should have started further over. So then we want to know the average. What was Jada's average daily balance for the week of December 13? Assume he pays no fees for a negative balance. It was, okay. We're going to add all these together. 1,000, 785, 785, and 710. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 7 of them. So we have 1,250 plus 673 plus 1,500 plus 1,000 plus 785 plus 785 plus 710. And this gives me 5,803. And we're going to divide that by 7. And we get average daily balance was $829. And that finishes off section 3.2.